Do you know how to talk to a lead? Kind of seems like a silly question, doesn't it? But you'd be surprised the number of people that don't know how to talk to somebody that's thinking about buying or selling real estate. Hey, I'm Trey Doby with Doby Real Estate, and I wanted to chat with you a little bit just about how to speak to a lead. Our team actually does role play 4 days a week for about 30 minutes each time, and it's completely optional. The newer team members are on there more so than some of our seasoned agents, but learning how to connect and talk to a lead is absolutely vital. We have an agent who joined our team a few months ago, and she was previously an agent on another team, and we started to do role play, and she thought it was silly. However, after a few role play sessions, she realized that she really needed this help. She had been taking Zillow leads for, I believe it was 4 months with this team, and had not converted a single Zillow lead. And I asked her, how many calls did you take? She said a lot. And I was like, and how many pieces of business have you closed off of it? And she said none. And I said, this is the exact reason. You need to learn how to talk to leads. So how we handle different types of leads dictate how we handle each type of conversation. We do a lot of online advertising, we do a lot of marketing, so it generates all types of leads. We do a lot of Google pay-per-click, which are leads that are on average going to take 6 to 12 months to close. We do some Zillow, we do a lot of billboards, we do a lot of radio, we have a lot of signs in the yard, so we have people calling in. And how you handle each one of these calls is going to vary. For instance, on the long lead time people, the people that are going to take 6 to 12 months to nurture, those conversations are completely different than somebody that calls in on one of our signs because they saw one of our houses for sale online, or maybe they saw the yard sign out front. So whenever you're connecting with people, that's going to be a 6 to 12 month type situation. It's ultra important that you build deep relationships with these people. You don't just stay on surface level. You don't just talk about what type of house they want. You need to build a deep relationship with this person in order to build their trust. So you need to build some rapport. Now, how do you do that? You talk a lot about them personally. If somebody tells you that they're looking for a 4-bedroom house, why are you looking for a 4-bedroom house? It's probably going to bring up their family. People want to do business that are similar to them. So if you have kids and then they have, so let's say they wanted a 4-bedroom because they have 3 kids. Oh, great. How old are your kids? What school district do you want to be in? What do your kids like to do? And build a deep relationship with the person. And one of the things that we run into a lot in real estate is, unfortunately, people are selling houses due to unfortunate circumstances. It could be a loss of a loved one. It could be a divorce. It could be a lot of different reasons. And how do you react whenever you talk to somebody like that? Example, during one of the role play sessions, somebody was role playing. They said they were going through a divorce, and the agent on our team said, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that." Why are you sorry to hear that? Maybe that divorce is a good thing for that person. Maybe they were in an abusive relationship. Maybe they're not sorry about their divorce. So don't just make assumptions. You know what the old saying about it, assuming. You know what to assume does. It makes out of you and me. And that's so true whenever you're talking to new leads. So whenever we encounter that situation, somebody says, I'm getting a divorce. Oh, really? How are you doing? Because how are you doing says, I care for you, as opposed to just saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry is making an assumption that it's a bad situation. Whenever you're asking, how are you? The person may be like, it's obviously hard to go through a divorce, but it's a great thing. It's a huge opportunity for me. So don't make assumptions and dig into problems. And ultimately just build rapport and build deep relationships. So that's important on leads that are going to be, 6, 12 months out. How do you handle a phone call with somebody that is a newer, hotter lead? Let's say somebody calls into our office, into our buyer side phone number, and they've either seen a sign in the yard, or maybe they saw our listing online and they're calling to see it. How we handle that conversation is going to be much different than how we handle somebody that's clicking around online. So if somebody calls in, one of the key things that I learned early in my career is the LP Mama script. LP Mama. L stands for location, P stands for price, M stands for motivation, A stands for agent, M stands for mortgage, and A stands for appointment. So LP Mama, location, price, motivation, agent, mortgage, appointment. Those are the main topics you want to hit on. I tell our team the mama part is the crucial part, the LP is not as important. So we obviously want to find out if they're working with another agent, because we don't want to step on toes. We don't want to do anything unethical. And quite frankly, I don't want to spend 25 minutes on a phone call with somebody to find out at the last minute that they have an agent. So I try to get that out of the gate right away. Say, give me a second while I pull up that property. Have you been looking at houses for a while? If they say yes, great. How long have you been looking? How many homes have you seen? And if they say they've been in 6, 7 houses, great. Did you see those all with the same agent? If they say yes, oh, wow, sounds like you have a realtor. So you're finding that out quickly in the conversation. Then I want to move on and I want to find out what's their motivation to move. Why are they looking to buy a house right now? And what's their current living situation? Do they need to sell in order to buy? So we want to talk about that motivation. And then we want to talk about the mortgage. Now, I always wait till late in the conversation to talk about the mortgage. If you instantly answer the phone, yeah, it's a great house you're calling about. It's listed for $250,000. Have you been pre-approved for that amount? That's how you turn people off. You got to build a relationship and some rapport before you ask about the mortgage part. Excuse me. And usually I bring that in softly, something along the lines of, I know you haven't been looking real long, but by chance have you spoken with a lender yet about getting pre-approved? Rather than just, hey, have you been pre-approved? So you got to be a little soft with that. Again, you want to build a relationship. You can't just stick to all about the house, but on these type calls, it is a little bit more direct. It is a little bit more about the house. So it's not quite as deep as relationship building, but you definitely want to build a relationship with a person and figure out their situation. And then ultimately we want to set an appointment. We try to get all of our appointments in office before we go look at houses. We have pretty good success with that. However, there are some people that want to go see at the house. And then in those instances, we set the expectation that we're going to do a consultation in the house. And why do we do consultations? One, we want to help our buyers. We want to educate them on the process. But also we want to get our buyers loyalty. We're going to work hard for them, and we want them to be loyal to us. And it allows us to address that in the entire home buying process. So this was a very quick and brief overview of how do you speak to a lead. I could go on and on about this, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. If you're looking to get better on phone conversations, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to have a more in-depth conversation. We even have a script book. I'm even willing to share that with you. If you want a copy of our script book, you can email me, trey@dobierealestate.com. Scripts are great, but they're just meant to be a guide. So you can't just be a robot and read line item by line item. If they say this, go to this. If they say this, go to this. It's about building a relationship. But the scripts ultimately give you a guideline and a framework to build off of on how the conversation should initially start. But if you have any questions about this, you'd like my script, feel free to shoot me an email, or if there's anything I can do to help, don't hesitate to reach out. Again, I'm Trey Dobie with Dobie Real Estate, and I hope you have a great day.